I was most embarrassed today. It is like your own house, your own family is trying to felicitate you. It is, and most of the thing what Manoj read it, it appears as if I have written it. So I want to say that it was written by him only, out of pure love and affection, nothing else. And the topic that he has given me, my journey is navigating post-operative management in diabetes. This is what I do for living. And this is my day-to-day affair. At any given time, I have about 15 patients under 3 various hospitals who are operated for multiple surgeries. You see, my life began as a humble student in Raheja Hospital, which was treating all diabetic patients. Then I was invited at Asian Heart Institution. This is my biodata in brief. And what ultimately happened, joined Asian Heart Institution in 2000, just across here, 2010. That means last almost 15 years, I have been managing post-operative, post-CABG, meticulous control of type 2 as well as type 1 diabetes. And I can say that our center is a master in various surgeries, including CABG. Now, this everybody knows that diabetes is a vascular disease and is considered as a coronary artery disease equivalent. The revascularization procedures are multiple. What are standard? Conventional CABG. Transmyocardial laser revascularization. We don't do that anymore. Minimally invasive direct coronary artery bypass, mid-cap. Conventional CABG is done by either saphenous vein graft. The best is internal mammary lima. Total arterial revascularization using IMA, radial, gastroepiploic and inferior epigastric arteries. Multiple arteries are available. But the problem with lima is the sternum is deprived of the blood supply. When you take out the lima, it transfers to coronary arteries, the sternum, which derives this blood supply from these arteries, is deprived. As a result of which, mid-sternal infections as well as dehiscence as well as non-healing becomes a big problem. And for that, you need a very meticulous control of blood sugar. The use of lima with their long-term patency may be advantageous in diabetics. However, the bilateral internal mammary artery grafts, there is an increased chest wound complications, sternal dehiscence and re-exploration. This is bad. माने 10 लाख के बदले 20 लाख खर्चा. Hyperglycemia, what are the ill effects? Now this is the main topic. It abolishes ischemic preconditioning. There is something known as preconditioning. The organ gets ready for sudden occlusion. That is known as preconditioning factor. This is lost because of hyperglycemia. It reduces coronary collateral blood flow, is exaggerated ischemia, reperfusion, cellular injury. After you reperfuse, there is a cellular injury and there are a lot of arrhythmias due to reperfusion. It reduces plasma fibrinolytic activity, increases PA1 activity, causes endothelial dysfunction, which is a very big problem because diabetes is not only major coronary artery disease, but it is a small vessel disease as well. Hyperglycemia causes inflammatory cytokines. In humans, elevation of glucose to 270 for even 5 hours has been associated with increased IL-6, IL-18 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, all cytokines. Alteration in myocardial energetics in diabetic, free facet oxidation is not inhibited, glycolysis is hormonally inhibited and lipolysis is paradoxically enhanced. Paucity of biologically available insulin slows phosphorylation of glucose and fails to activate PDH. This is an important thing which happens. Because of limited oxidative capacity, free fatty acid taken by myocardium are not completely metabolized. Free fatty acid and their intermediates accumulated in myocardium decrease the contractility. The very purpose for which you give a pump action, it should increase, itself is lost. Free fatty acid produces energy at a local cost of oxygen consumption, which further increases cellular ischemia. The persistent lack of glycolysis derived ATP prolongs membrane destabilization and leads to increased cellular edema and produces arrhythmia. Main cause of arrhythmia is this changes. Glycolysin derived ATP is a critical to myocardium, endothelium and smooth muscle membrane stability. Accumulation of free fatty acid and its intermediates are detrimental to these cells. The very idea of reconducting the conduct itself creates hypoxia. See the paradox? Beneficial effect of insulin beyond now. Insulin, more than anti-hyperglycemic effect, it has a lot of other qualities. One of the great qualities of insulin, it has got anti-inflammatory property. It corrects the imbalance between low glycolytic substrates in ischemic tissues and elevates free fatty acids, which are elevated free fatty acid. The myocardium has been described as omnivorous. जो मिलता है खाता है, जो सामने आता है खाता है. That is the capacity of myocardium. Anything which is available, it utilizes for its energy. The pump must go on. The Almighty has created this heart, such a great organ, that at any cost it should pump. It should not stop. No, I will not stop today. A Sunday. ऐसा नहीं चलता है. These substrates are free fatty acid, glucose, pyruvates, lactates, ketones and even amino acids. In a normal non-diabetic, non-ischemic myocardium, 60% of the ATP production is derived from lipolysis and beta oxidation of palmitate and free fatty acid, whereas 35% is derived from glycolytic sources. 65% comes from this. Both glycolysis and free fatty oxidation eventually produce acetyl coenzyme A, and which causes phosphorylation in a Krebs cycle in mitochondria. Go back to your first MBBS. Krebs cycle, you must have read it. You have to use that knowledge in cardiology now. Now, I will go a little quickly. Insulin therapy improves endothelial function, decreases CRP levels, reduces pro-inflammatory transcription factor, reduces intercellular adhesions, and serum glucose level acts as a fuel gauge. You look at the sugar level post-operatively. If it is high, there is something going wrong. If it is low, there is something wrong with the therapy. You understand? It acts as a sixth vital parameter. Sixth vital parameter. The key to success is short-term, long-term results in a tight glycometabolic control. Glucose is a sixth vital sign. When I take the round, and some of my students are here, I ask them, glucose is a sixth vital sign. So then I say, can you tell me the first 5 vital signs? And they fumble. Fumbling is the first step of learning. GIK, this is our formula. Through a central line of 500 ml dextrose, 80 units of regular insulin, 50 units of potassium. Potassium has to go inside. Potassium is as important as the insulin. Favorable effect of GIK are related to enhanced ATP production, decreased oxidative stress, free radicals are not released, oxygen-free radicals are prevented, and continuous infusion reduces the mortality in diabetic after CABG. This is what we are showing in non-diabetic and diabetic patients. Key concept of subcutaneous. Now, how do you transfer this IV insulin to subcutaneous insulin? This is an art. That is why I am paid so heavily in these hospitals. If I try to explain to you, तो एक कहावत है, घोड़ा घास के साथ दोस्त करेगा तो खाएगा क्या? If you all start treating this, मेरा क्या होगा? But this is the key concept. Basal insulin, which is our normal, which goes at the 0.1 unit per kg body weight. Basal, throughout the day it works, all 24 hours. And prandial booster, as the blood sugar goes up post-lunch, post-breakfast, you have to give short-acting. Now, what has come today in the light, which has really helped us, is a FIASP. FIASP is a one drug which is one advantage that you need not have to give it only before meals. You can give this drug after meal. Can be given to, and a shortest, ultra short acting. Action is over in 1 hour, very quick to act, which has really helped us. Treats acute elevation blood sugar. At no way post-operative control should exceed more than 180 milligrams. And this is what we follow the protocol. See, these are cases that we did. Our mortality is lowest. I'm not asking you to send patients. We have enough patients, don't worry. And this is what my data from 2019 to 2024, number of patients attended, number of surgeries were done. Means we don't do patients admitted, kato. No. See, the ratio is much descent. And the number of diabetic patients also quite a lot. So better post-CABG results, Panda and Associates. Almost all surgeries are done on beating heart. We don't off pump, we call it. Use REMA and LEMA in all diabetic patients. Rigid infection control, better general supportive care. These dedicated nurse, 3 dedicated nurse per day per patient in ICU. This is a luxury to have 3 nurses every 8 hourly. And the nurses know the protocols of Portland as well as our own call so well that you will not remember that anything goes wrong in the ICU. And the same thing now we do it in Raj Hospital. Same thing. We have started doing CABGs in Raj Hospital. Excellent results. Very little infection. Raj Hospital is one famous hospital which has virtually no infection, although we treat a lot of infected cases. But our theatre complexes and cardiac cath labs of Raj Hospital are probably the best in this city. Now, certain key point that we insist on a pre-operative examination is renal patients always for the medical purpose. When talking about them history, diabetes कभी से था? कुछ 6-7 महीना हो गया. Rubbish. Their HbA1c is 14. You cannot have HbA1c of 14 when your diabetes is 6 months. They are hiding this fact because they get a feeling that if they don't show this, they will not get their claim passed. So you have to take a meticulous history, study the renal profile. Only creatinine is not sufficient. You may have to do creatinine clearance test. You may have to do EGFR to know the exact renal status. Test to comorbid condition, renal Doppler, arterial Doppler, any history of drug allergy, delayed wound healing, any cognitive dysfunction. Very important. The patients with a normal cognitive function, mean early dementia, may hide that fact. You ask the standard questions, तुम्हारा नाम याद है? Yes. तुम्हारा टेलीफोन नंबर याद है? तुम्हारा वाइफ का टेलीफोन नंबर याद है? हाँ. तुम्हारा अभी आजकल we use the email, so our memory has gone down. Our phones, smartphones. But you ask him, what is your wedding anniversary? And if you forget, it's a disaster at home if you forget your wedding. But the point is, these subtle changes of cognitive dysfunction can get worsen, and the patient can put a claim that before bypass surgery, this guy was absolutely all right. Now his cognitive functions have deteriorated. This can be a big medical legal suit. So cognitive functions, you please record it prior to surgery. Conclusion, tight glycemic control initiated from operation theatre to wards is a key success to CABG management. Now, in Mumbai, the one cause of death will be cancer. And therefore, we started a cancer institution, both in Raj Hospital and Kambala Hill. Diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, poor digestion, frequent UTI and colonic infection is a common problem with cancer patients. Either pre-existing hyperglycemia gets worsened due to disease or due to therapy, particularly corticosteroids. And that is what you have to tightly control. If a patient is on corticosteroids, you have to be very aggressive in giving insulin. Now, in all multi-agent intervention, chemotherapy is associated with very high chances of severe hyperglycemia. Chemotherapeutic agents themselves can create hyperglycemia in a non-diabetic, or it can unmask diabetes. And that is what you have to Keep in mind, this is my paper which we published, Cancer and Diabetes, which was approved by RSCDI, chapter in medicine. Principle of management, age, weight, culture, eating habits and associated comorbid condition, compliance and affordability. So this is my message for how to control diabetes post-operative cases. Since this is an oration, there are no questions normally asked. And after such a lucid trauma, actually there should not be any question. But yet, I am definitely going to answer if there are any queries.